Hi, I am Girish Kishnani, and you are watching 5-Minute Learnings. Welcome to the 17th video in the series on cognitive biases. Today, we'll explore the negativity bias. The negativity bias is our tendency not only to register negative stimuli more readily but also to dwell on these events. Also known as positive-negative asymmetry, this negativity bias means that we feel the sting of a rebuke more powerfully than we feel the joy of praise. This psychological phenomenon explains why bad first impressions can be so difficult to overcome and why past traumas can have such long lingering effects. In almost any interaction, we are more likely to notice negative things and later remember them more vividly. For example, you might be having a great day at work when a coworker makes an offhand comment that you find irritating. You then find yourself stewing over his words for the rest of the workday. When you get home from work and someone asks you how your day was, you reply that it was terrible, even though it was overall quite good despite that one negative incident. This bias toward the negative leads you to pay much more attention to the bad things that happen, making them seem much more important than they really are. Psychological research suggests that the negative bias influences motivation to complete a task. People have less motivation when an incentive is framed as a means to gain something than when the same incentive will help them avoid the loss of something. Additionally, studies have shown that negative news is more likely to be perceived as truthful. Since negative information draws greater attention, it also may be seen as having greater validity. This might be why bad news seems to garner more attention. Where does negative bias come from? Evolution. Our tendency to pay more attention to bad things and overlook good things is likely a result of evolution. Earlier in human history, paying attention to bad, dangerous, and negative threats in the world was literally a matter of life and death. Those who were more attuned to danger and who paid more attention to the bad things around them were more likely to survive. This meant they were also more likely to hand down the genes that made them more attentive to danger. The evolutionary perspective suggests that this tendency to dwell on the negative more than the positive is simply one way the brain tries to keep us safe. Development. Research suggests that this negativity bias starts to emerge in infancy. Very young infants tend to pay greater attention to positive facial expression and tone of voice, but this begins to shift as they near 1 year of age. The brain's response. Neuroscientific evidence has shown that there is greater neural processing in the brain in response to negative stimuli. Because negative information causes a surge in activity in a critical information processing area of the brain, our behaviors and attitudes tend to be shaped more powerfully by bad news, experiences, and information. Effects. Some of the everyday areas where you might feel the results of this bias include in your relationships, decision-making, and the way you perceive people. The bias might lead people to expect the worst in others, particularly in close relationships in which people have known each other for a long time. While making decisions, people consistently place greater weight on negative aspects of an event than they do on positive ones. Studies have shown that when given both good and bad adjectives to describe another person's character, participants give greater weight to the bad descriptors when forming a first impression. How to overcome negative bias. The negativity bias can take a toll on your mental health, causing you to dwell on dark thoughts, hurt your relationships with loved ones, make it difficult to maintain an optimistic outlook on life. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to change your thinking and fight the tendency toward negative thinking, including: stop negative self-talk. Start paying attention to the type of thoughts that run through your mind. After an event takes place, you might find yourself thinking things like "I shouldn't have done that." This negative self-talk shapes how you think about yourself and others. A better tactic is to stop those thoughts whenever they begin. Instead of fixating on past mistakes that cannot be changed, consider what you have learned and how you might apply that in the future. This doesn't mean ignoring potential dangers or wearing rose-colored glasses. It simply means refocusing so that you give fair and equal weight to good events. Establish new patterns. When you find yourself ruminating on things, look for an uplifting activity to pull yourself out of this negative mindset. For example, if you find yourself mentally reviewing some unpleasant event or outcome, consciously try to redirect your attention elsewhere and engage in an activity that brings you joy. A few more ideas to get your mind off negative thoughts. Go for a walk, listen to upbeat music, read a good book, savor positive moments. Because it takes more for positive experiences to be remembered, it is important to give extra attention to good things that happen. Where negative things might be quickly transferred and stored in your long-term memory, you need to make more of an effort to get the same effect from happy moments. So when something great happens, take a moment to really focus on it. Replay the moment several times in your memory and focus on the wonderful feelings the memory evokes. The negativity bias can have a powerful impact on your behavior, but being aware of it means that you can take steps to adopt a more positive outlook on life. Taking a more mindful approach that involves being aware of your own tendency toward negativity and consciously elevating happier thoughts to the forefront of awareness, this is one of the best ways to combat negative bias. That's all on negativity bias. In the next video we shall explore primacy bias. Hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and follow or subscribe to my channel 5-Minute Learnings, and do remember to hit the bell icon to get notified on new content. Thanks for watching.